Lucius and Marcus, two of Rome's finest gladiators. They both have fame and glory, but things weren't always so easy.
I grew up in a very strict household, and my father was much smaller than average. So I just kind of felt like he was trying to make up for that through me.
Lucius Sr. decided early on that it wasn't enough for his son to be a gladiator. He had to be the gladiator.
It was tough training day and night, but I just wanted him to be proud of me, you know?
Finally, the day he trained for all his life was here. His first tournament at the Colosseum.
I was half the size of some of those guys, but I had one thing they didn't have. My father.
Fear of his father's crushing disapproval provided the perfect catalyst for young Lucius. He maimed one seasoned gladiator after another until the unthinkable happened.
I won! I actually won! I looked over and I saw my dad and he was smiling. I was just so happy. And what happened next, I just couldn't stop myself. I hugged him.
Lucius, excited and unaware of his own strength, picked up his tiny father and squeezed, crushing him to death.
Those were dark days. And I threw myself into competing, you know, but nothing helped. And that all changed, though, when I met Marcus.
Growing up, it was just me and Mama. We were poor as dirt. So I decided I was going to do whatever it took to give Mama the good life. So I started gladiator training.
Marcus began rising through the ranks, eventually winning the coveted Lotus Cup, and with it, 100 gold pieces.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. I looked over at my mama and I yelled to her, "You'll never have to eat at Portia's Olive Hut again." She was so happy. So happy.
Marcus, excited and unaware of his own strength, picked up his tiny mother and squeezed, crushing her to death.
I threw myself into competing to hide my broken heart. By the time I met Lucius, I was just like, let me at him.
Indeed, they were evenly matched. The fight lasted 3 days and nights and broke every previous record for brutality.
As he was biting my ankle, I was like, who is this savage son of a bitch? I was intrigued.
They finally just had to call it a draw. I turned to him afterwards and I said, I know we've been spending the last 3 days trying to kill each other, but you want to get a drink?
He just blew me away. And then he told me about accidentally killing his mother, and I thought, this guy knows exactly where I'm coming from.
From then on, we were inseparable.
And let me tell you, this society does not make it easy for two citizens to express themselves sexually. It's just, Romans just can't separate sex from power.
Yeah, I mean, what he means is, it's legal for citizens to pitch, but not to catch. If you know what I mean, but we got around that.
We just hold hands and stare deep into each other's eyes while plowing the hell out of non-citizens.
And thus one of the great sports romances was born. But there would be no happy ending for Lucius and Marcus, for they soon received word of a decree from Caesar Augustus. They would be forced to fight each other again, this time to the death.
When I got the decree that I was going to be forced to fight Lucius, I was
just mad.
Yeah. I was mad, I was hurt, I was scared because he's one fiendish son of a bitch, but
I'll mess you up.
Excuse me, can I interrupt? Excuse me.
That's
Really?
amazing.
Really?